Uwajimaya, why not? Seattle's favorite Asian supermarket has big news for people living in the South Sound and East Side. Tonight on Evening. The family-owned bakery taking fritters to the next level with 21 varieties.
Hey everybody, I am Makini, and I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful shiitake ginger tofu bowl.
And the Seafood Festival on the coast. You won't want to miss this weekend.
It's about bringing a bunch of people together and celebrating what we have here.
Hi, I'm St. Brian. This is Evening, and we are spending tonight in Seattle's Chinatown International District. I'm at the flagship store for the largest Asian grocery retailer in the Northwest, Uwajimaya. And if you live in the South Sound or the East Side, big news. There's a new Uwajimaya coming to you soon. From the colorful snacks to the freshest seafood in the city, Uwajimaya has become a Pacific Northwest institution.
K-pop demon hunters.
But for CEO Denise Moriguchi, the future of this family empire is about looking back to its roots.
We're super excited to open 2 new stores and just serve more customers and share the best of Asian food culture with more people. Super cute.
They're preparing 2 new locations for 2027, one in Issaquah and a highly anticipated return to Tacoma. And while many see it as a Seattle brand, the story actually began in the South Sound in 1928, before the forced relocation of Japanese Americans during World War II.
Returning to Tacoma has been bittersweet. It's where we started, and the fact that we're going back there, it's just a nice story. It's like coming home.
That home is getting bigger because the appetite for Asian culture is exploding, driven by a new generation.
I think it's really the younger generation getting excited about like anime, K-pop demon hunters, all the fun things that are coming out of Asia.
And you can't talk about food here without talking about Uwajimaya's iconic snack section. I can't stop eating these things, that's a problem.
Roomy.
A century of history, heading back to where it all began. And a little bit later in the show, we're going to take a look around and show off some of our staff's favorite grocery items here. But first, let's head down to Olympia, where a man who's been making donuts for 35 years has finally found his niche. Fantastic fritters in every flavor imaginable.
Inside Twister Donut Shop in Olympia, owner Tony Duarte has 21 reasons fritter fans flock to his place.
The fritters, I have a lot of different kinds. Look, I have apple, blueberry, guava, pineapple. I have peach, strawberry, lemon, banana.
That's less than half of today's selection. Tony makes all of his fritters from scratch.
Make apple fritters. The best fritters of the town.
All those flavors are inspired by his regulars.
The customer give it ideas. When the customer come and give it the idea to make a different kind.
This is a family bakery. Tony's wife, Gloria, also makes donuts. Daughter Aisha helps out in the bakery's drive-thru. His kids, Matthew and Lucas, are taste testers. And his customers are also part of the family.
Tony's donuts are awesome. I come in here weekly, and actually most of the donuts I purchase are a donation for the Thurston County Sheriff's Department. All the deputies love Tony and his donuts. So here I am, again.
Fritters aren't the only treats you can get at Twister's.
Fresh glazed donuts. Oh, shiny.
Tony also makes giant donut birthday cakes, donut breakfast sandwiches, and tamales.
The tamales, I have good tamales. I have a chicken, pork. Yeah, very good tamales.
But the best thing here isn't on the menu.
All right, look good.
The best thing here is Tony. Because the only thing Tony makes faster than donuts is friends.
Thank you for coming. What's your name?
My name's Kenny.
Oh, Tony. Tony, nice to meet. Thank you. Oh, I like it. My special is working for my customers. I try the best customer service, the best donuts I can. Yeah, I try to keep him happy, my customers.
After a visit to Twister Donuts, customers always leave with a little more than a box full of treats.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Chris. Twister Donuts also has ice cream because why stop? It's just donuts and tamales. Also, Chris says those huge fritters are a deal at $3.25 a piece. All right, we sent our Jose Cedeno down to Austin, Texas for a huge event featuring entertainment, arts, and technology, and he's bringing back a story for us. Hey, Jose.
Hey guys, Jose here from South by Southwest, one of the biggest festivals in the world when it comes to film and music. And yes, I'm in Texas, but I'm here to highlight artists from the Northwest. We stopped at the iconic Waterloo Records to meet with the band Packaging as they were setting up for their performance. We got a one-on-one with the band. Also, we had the chance to chat with a group of UW graduates about their project that is helping sports fans with disabilities to have the ultimate experience.
One Court is a tactile broadcast designed for fans with visual disabilities.
And of course, we are going to tell you about the film premieres happening at this festival.
All right, thank you, Jose. It looks like he's having a good time. Jose's got a special for us on South by Southwest, and that is happening on Friday. Now let's turn our ears towards the Northwest music scene and Nirvana. I got to speak recently to the local legend, the rock photographer Charles Peterson, about his experiences with the band.
Flash, wind on, crouch, bob to the music. Flash, wind, stand, lean into Kurt, flash, wind, rock out a bit.
He shot iconic covers for Mudhoney and Soundgarden albums, but Sub Pop's go-to photographer Charles Peterson says he knows his legacy will forever be connected with Nirvana, a band he first photographed in 1989.
They were newcomers on the scene. Kurt was very quiet. Chris was very gregarious.
Both were thrilled to be the subject of a photographer who seemed to capture sound on a purely visual medium.
They've been described as noisy photographs.
Noisy photographs. I guess you could say that because it represents the music. That was always my intention, to represent the music and that feeling and being immersed in it and including the audience. So viewers felt like they could experience it as well.
You can see Charles on the right, at work in this home video of Nirvana playing at a record store in the U District.
That was the release for Nevermind. No stage, just on the floor, and there was people moshing and carrying each other, and it was just crazy.
Kurt and Charles recognized a quality they both shared: introverts who played extroverts.
I think that when he got on stage, it just became this really physical thing for him. It was his release, and he wasn't so concerned about playing the perfect note.
Charles learned to anticipate Kurt's most manic moments. 1990 at Raji's in Los Angeles. With 10 shots left in a roll, Charles had a sense something was going to happen.
Because he'd been pacing back and forth and kind of twirling and doing feedback, and he's gonna go for that drum kit. And then he just leaped backwards, and I just leaned on the motor drive.
2 years later, headlining in front of 45,000 fans at the Reading Festival in England, a personal photo. Kurt catches Charles' eye to ask if everything is all right.
I think in that moment he wanted that connection.
Yeah, a little hometown connection.
Little hometown connection versus the sea of people out in front of him.
With his famously noisy photographs, Charles Peterson connects his audience with the band on the ride of its life.
You'll want to find that book. It's called Charles Peterson's Nirvana, and you can find it at local bookstores. Got a gobo stick. Let's see what else we can find.
Up next, Chef Makini Howell with a tofu mushroom bowl that's as beautiful as it is healthy. Woo! And later, craving crab? We'll show you where to go this weekend.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
That's good.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to the show from the snack aisle at Uwajimaya. If you come here with an adventurous spirit, you will find things here that you will not see at any other grocery store. For instance, this is particularly going viral right at the moment. It looks like a chicken burger, right? Actually, it is a frozen dessert, and you put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds, you pull it out, and it's supposed to be incredibly delicious. I might take one home and see for myself. A couple of the other things that we like here, including the kabocha squash and purple yams. You'll find that in the produce section. Diane says she loves the oranges here. In the seafood section, if you think it's expensive to buy sushi at a restaurant, well, you can buy sashimi here and make it at home yourself. The deli section, always amazing. Diane loves the tofu salad. And as we wrap things up in the snack section, our producer Joseph loves the rice crackers. He's been eating those as long as he can remember. You know somebody else who likes to make things at home? Our vegan chef, Makini Howell.
Hey, it's me, Makini. I'm back. And today, we are going to use some Makini's tofu. Now, this is my ginger shiitake tofu that you can find in the deli section of every PCC natural market. It is fantastic, straight out of the package. You can eat it cold, it's a great snacking tofu, but today I just put a little bit of sesame oil in my pan and I'm gonna heat it up and we're gonna do a bowl. So oh, that didn't sizzle. It's not ready. I'm gonna put it in the pan and let it sear a little bit. When you taste this tofu, you're gonna wanna put the whole pack on your bowl. I'm gonna add some shiitake mushrooms to this bowl to just sort of reinforce that umami flavor. And I want my mushrooms whole because I want them to be like a really prominent part of the bowl. Oh, we're sizzling. I'm also going to shave some extra ginger just because, why not? Ginger's delicious. Let's check the tofu because it's getting hot in here. Mushrooms tend to drink oil, so I always add just a little bit more oil for the mushrooms. I'm gonna take the tofu out. It's nice and golden brown and set it aside here. And it's left a nice little scraping on the pan that I am going to cook these mushrooms and this ginger in. Is smoking. Okay, so now a little ponzu sauce. We're just gonna let whatever is gonna happen here happen. All right, I did this really fun thing with my rice. I added in some red quinoa to my rice and it made this really lovely grain blend. So let's aim for the bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on it because I'm a fan of heat. And I am going to drizzle just a tiny bit of sesame oil on it. I'm gonna attempt to cut these into very attractive pieces. Okay, let's wish me luck. Edit this part. Slice your tofu so it's bite-sized. It's gonna be so yummy, you're gonna wanna eat all of it. I've been on a kimchi pickling kick lately. So we're gonna put a little just egg on here. Now we're gonna put a little mushroom on. These look delicious. Put a little bit of fresh cucumber in the bowl. Look at that! Makini's shiitake ginger tofu bowl. And don't forget, you can find the shiitake ginger tofu in the deli section of the PCC.
Oh, that looks so good. Thank you, Chef Makini. You can find her mushroom tofu bowl recipe on our website.
Coming up, craving fresh crab? We've got a seafood festival on the coast you won't want to miss. And later, it's been called the best new TV show of 2026. We're talking with two of the stars of The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. To find out why.
Welcome back to the show from the home section of Uwajimaya in downtown Seattle. One of the reasons we love this store so much is that it's just a short walk from where we work. If you love seafood, you're going to love a seafood festival that is happening this weekend in Ocean Shores. Here's Jose with the preview.
In Ocean Shores, this little clam is such a big deal they throw a party for it every March.
Here we are in surprisingly sunny Ocean Shores, Washington at the Razor Clam and Seafood Festival.
Thousands come to dig for razor clams on the beach and eat seafood in town.
Our big focus is the bounty of the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific Northwest.
The chef is happy as a clam, cooking Dungeness crab for the crowd.
We are expected to sell probably between 1,200 and 1,500 crabs. Woo! It's a bit of a spectacle. Seeing the folks cleaning it, we get student volunteers that help with us, and so actually seeing the live crabs come out of the tank, seeing them go into the pot, the billowing steam, the smells, the atmosphere. We've got Dungeness crab dinner. It's coming with herb butter potatoes with coleslaw, drawn butter. And yeah, it's about bringing a bunch of people together and celebrating what we have here.
It's really good.
Awesome. It's worth it. It's very worth it. Very much worth it. The atmosphere, the food is awesome. And surprisingly, today is a gorgeous day. Couldn't ask for a better day.
There's plenty of other seafood here too, like this Alaska scallops.
Wherever they are, we show up. Wherever we can find them without stalking them, we'll be there.
Also vendors selling ocean-inspired creations, like this mats made from crabbing gear. But the star of the show is the razor clam. There's a clam gun decorating contest. The artists dug deep to get their inspiration. There's even clam cooking demos. Susie Sakamoto owns The Perfect Tide.
And it's a recipe site that I created here on the coast from everything that we catch on the coast.
Today, she's cooking Clams Casino.
Oh gosh, we love them. We've been razor clamming for a decade and love cooking with them in different ways. And what better to do than razor clams at a razor clam festival?
Best of all, the feast is not over when the festival ends. You can still find seafood at local restaurants or harvest your own on a nearby beach. Ocean Shores is a town that keeps their seafood party going year-round.
All right, thank you, Jose. That does look like fun. If you'd like to head out to Ocean Shores for the 18th annual Ocean Shores Razor Clam and Seafood Festival, it is suggested that you make some reservations online first.
Up next, we talk to the stars of NBC's newest hit, The Rise and Fall of Reggie D.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
Welcome back to the show from the legendary seafood section at Uwajimaya. The Fall and Rise of Reggie Denkins is a new show on NBC, and it's getting a lot of critical buzz. In fact, Esquire magazine calls it the best new TV show of 2026. Our producer, Ann Erickson, talks to two of the show's stars.
Esquire magazine says that The Rise and Fall of Reggie Denkins is the best new show of 2026.
Esquire magazine? That's
wow,
I've heard
that's
of them. They're
great.
very fancy.
Wow. Doesn't that feel good though, Bob?
It does feel good. It does feel good. I love the show so much, so yes, it makes me feel extremely happy that people like it as much as we do.
And we're working hard.
Yeah.
You know, we don't take that for granted. Everybody here is a veteran, and yet they come in like they're babies, like they want it, like they're, just got off the, the farm team, and they've got to hit that ball and make their shot. And Tracy says every day, this is a family. We're doing this because we love it.
And then bam, Hall of Fame. Bam, broadcasting job. Bam, they make a movie of your life. Bam, Pedro Pascal plays me.
It's the perfect plan.
Bobby, what's the most fun thing about working with Erica?
I'm gonna say something that she's not gonna like. You can tell she's a professional. Everyone on this show has worked in this business for a long, long time, and they're good at it. So I know that about her. So I try to make her laugh. Because I know she can handle it. So I definitely go after her a little bit.
Oh, I think this ice cream is spoiled. Ice cream? No, this is butter.
I try and make it uncomfortable for her on purpose, but it's from love because I know that we're gonna get something great out of it. So I go
now
after
that I know
her
I'm
a little
being
bit.
targeted.
In a different way. With Daniel, I go after him like I'm gonna beat him up because I try to be funny because I know I would never do that with him. But with you, I just try to make you laugh.
And he works every time. Yeah. He's ridiculously gifted. And it's a pleasure to be targeted by the funny man.
Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle equal?
And what's that supposed to mean?
You can catch the fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins right here on King 5 at 8:30 tonight. Thank you so much for joining me from Uwajimaya. As a person who lives in Tacoma, I can't wait for the store to open in the spring of 2027. There'll be another one opening around that time in Issaquah. We'll see you again.